that the Lord has now been enhanced. How are they gonna go straight in with a force ejector as well as
eternal?
By all means, that is supposed to be the play, right? That is the play. And Divinity immediately goes for the proxy at the top lane, which means that they are definitely going to be attacking into the opponent's jungle and still the purple buff. Damien kind of knows their plan, right? So he immediately hooks the giant purple buff away from Divinity just to stall a little bit more time with the iron hook landing on the swoop. Now his HP down low, he is definitely gonna go down. Monchichi claims that last hit, and that is going to add on to the bounty hunter contract that Monarch already has. So if you ask me right now, that was good for Monarch. They managed to pull some time away from Divinity and feed a single kill over to Granger. It seems like a small deal. Yes, look at the items real quick and take a look at whether Diablo actually bought the mask. That is a no. So we know for sure that Monarch is not looking at a hyper carry meta. Divinity though, definitely a hyper carry. With the Zaman Force being dropped down by Diablo, it is going to be a zoning capability for onto WQXD, and he thought that he can go for the kill on WQXD, but this is a change though. He immediately jumps into the battle and tries to get a kill onto the Harif, but he escapes with just a minute amount of health points. That was a very, very close shave. 1:1 so far, and the game is not tilting in favor for any teams just yet. Contribute over to the bounty hunter contract. That is the main confusion when it comes to games nowadays. Because it's rather conflicting when you are going for 1-2 versus 1-3-1. You have a mage, but you have the mentality that you gotta give your carry all of the farm. And speaking of farm, it does seem like the farm is giving away to Divinity as they picked up yet another kill for themselves. Except that Swoop is the one that picked up that kill against Kaja. Monarch once again with the wall at the back of their hands and literally at the back. They do not have a lot of retaliation and they do not have a lot of ways to deal with Divinity. May I add that, his damage is absolutely insane with the Ionic Disc as well. The longer he stays alive, the more he regens, the more damage he deals with his Ionic Discs. And that is just something that you cannot let him go. So he stays in the lane as long as he can. No matter what you do, you probably cannot even get a kill onto Uranus. And my point exactly, he's tanking so much damage, he still gets himself away. He evades the hook with that really nice sidestep, and that exactly proves my point. Uranus can get himself away in most situations with Ionic Disc. His amount of regeneration is pretty much insane as well. That was a little bit too late of a turnaround comeback coming in from the Jawhead. He could really end up getting a kill right onto Adamir if he went for the ejector. By no means that is a bad thing, right? By no means. But sometimes you need to have this innate ability to really understand where do you stand, how much health point you are left with, and if whether you are really, really capable of winning the team fight / losing the team fight, right? In the meantime, it does seem like the Blade of Heptasis is going to be bought up by Adamir. What does this mean? In the middle lane, but unfortunately the Guardian Wall is going to be popped up. WQXD forces himself away from the innate dangers from the Zaman Force, and in the bottom lane, does seem like the Divine Judgment coming in from Kaja immediately connects onto WJ, which is going to be the Grock. He goes down. Royal Conk, he's still looking at something right here. Divinity finds himself a single kill, and Cho finds himself in quite a predicament as well. The entire team is just gonna go straight in. Zaman Force drop down right by the Harif, but he's not looking at any more things because the entire team of Divinity has moved away from the platform of the Zaman Force. The Kaja over. Immediately after that, they went in straight for the turtle, but take a look at the bottom side. Grock over positioning himself. He did went for the wild charge onto the rest of the opponent team. The turtle has been slain by Selena, so this pretty much means that they have gotten themselves in a better position in terms of net worth. But right up to the top lane and right up into the alley of Jawhead, brought up yet another kill onto Cho. Rather unfortunate. If you rotate around, make full use of their jungle creeps, farm up a little bit more, and most of those goals do not go into an oblivion like is the one that you would want to see at the later stages of the game. Which one is the one that will have the highest damage potential or even the highest survivability? And speaking of survivability, Kaja immediately goes down and we see a 1v1 fight between the carries, and it does seem like the one victorious is going to be Claude. He stays alive, he gets himself out, but the main important thing and the most craziest thing is that Jawhead, he's still alive despite all of this situation somehow, and now he even get himself a choke kill as he tossed with the force ejector right onto the turret itself. And now Divinity find themselves in a rather difficult spot, right? More kills for Monarch, more kills for Jawhead. This is weird, right? You ask me. This is weird. Divinity is losing in terms of kills, but they are definitely winning in terms of objectives. 14:10, right? 14:10, 11 minutes in. 33,000 gold for Monarch, 33,000 gold in terms of Divinity. It's either we can say that Divinity's Claude is farming really well and is just getting from places to places very efficiently, or that is just that Monarch is unable to split up their farm well enough. If we take a look at their items real quick, we do have the Granger that has already picked up the Raptor Machete, Blade of Despair, Endless Battle. And as for Claude, he's picked up Raptor Machete, Aegis. That is nice, right? Windlands as well as the Demon Hunter Sword. So he's going for a little bit more of a tanky style. And in the meantime, take a look at this! The Guardian Wall immediately pushes everyone into an unfavorable position. But well played coming in from Monarch. They managed to get themselves away, and most importantly, it is going to be Kaja managed to get the flicker out of that deadly scenario. If not, that is going to be a hands-down win for Divinity, because Divinity got the Lord fighting for their cause, and all three lanes are completely pushed up right into the alley of Monarch. The Blazing Duet has been used, the Zaman Force is now printed down on the ground. Diablo is looking for more kills, but he's got a lot of shields. He's not going down anytime. Damien overcompensated himself a little bit too far, trying to go for the Iron Hook on anyone else in Divinity side, but it does seem like all of it is for the naught. None of these players have gotten anything into fruition, and now Berserker's Fury has been picked up by Monchichi. This is going to make him a lot more of a disaster, and now he picks up a kill right on top of the Uranus. And now, what exactly is gonna happen now? This game is going to be insane. And here we have the Zaman Force has been dropped down by Diablo. He's still surviving. That is amazing. The only reason is he does have the Chrono Dash, is just giving him all the shields as much as possible. So despite all of that initiation coming from Divinity, I really love the way that they go for the aggressive. And Monarch, they spot something out. They realize that Divinity is going to go for the aggressiveness. They find a way to go for the counter aggression. They want to retaliate back as well. They know how to play passive. They know how to play aggressive at the same time. Monarch is just literally playing things in their hands. And if you ask me, who has gotten the better part of this deal? We are entering into the late game. Which is the team that have a higher potential in the late game? My coin is on Monarch, right? Because Selena has a very fast damage drop-off. He drops off really fast, but in the meantime, for Diablo, he is playing as Harith. So if you actually consider to pick up the Berserker's Fury together with the rest of your magical items, your critical damage, your magic critical damage is going to be off the roof, right? Completely off the roof. Whoever did not buy magical resistance item is going to find themselves in absolute hell. And speaking of hell, that is where Harith is gonna go. With 40 seconds on his dash timer, Divinity is going to be knocking right onto the victory's door, or even might be the death's door. Monchichi's health is all the way down to an all-time low at a critical health. Divinity is going all out aggressive, ready to push up in the middle lane and even at the top lane. Now they have gotten the notice that the Lord has now been enhanced. How are they gonna go straight in with a Force Ejector, as well as Unstoppable Force, immediately tossing the Claude into the opponent's base. And now one side does not have the Claude. Claude is going to be the main carry, going to be the main marksman. Without him, they are losing out with a lot of physical damage potential. So Monarch with the force onto the Lord. This pretty much means that the Lord will be given away to Monarch unless something goes completely wrong. WQSD, we do have the Guardian Wall gonna be blocking him away from Monchichi. How about this? Zaman Force, drop right down below, still working with everything else. WQSD himself is still at a good amount of health. 3 men from Monarch. They are still, 3 men of Monarch, they have went down. And it's not something that you really think would happen, but it did. They tried to force for the Lord, and in the end, they have lost it. They lost that team fight, and Divinity is going to be capitalizing every single thing that has done. The fact that Granger is no longer around, they are taking the Enhanced Lord to fight for their cause. This is the time where Divinity says this is the end, right? They sing In the End by Linkin Park, right? Slowly working their way into the base. You can see that they are going for a slightly of a split push. Cho heading down to the bottom lane just to ensure that he's able to get all the push down, and you can see that the Jawhead is ready to get a retaliation down, and it does seem like both sides do not want to contest against each other. If you are looking at a mini-map right there, they are just spacing out, right? Really spacing out. But now, the Lord stamping around ground like a little spoiled child, rushing into the enemy's base, and Grock completely taken out by Monarch. And now Divinity's plan has been foiled. They do not have a frontliner to tank up all of the damage, or do they? Because the Lord is fighting for their cause, they have the Lord to absorb most of the damage. We do have the Way of the Dragon coming from enemy right on top of the Kaja, but unfortunately the Kaja is still alive, and for some reason the Lord went up to the top lane and almost destroyed the inhibitor turret instead of going straight into the core. I wouldn't say that is a good or a bad thing. Things happen for a reason, and that top lane is down thanks to Uranus. Top lane and bottom lane is now completely barren, and the middle lane inhibitor turret is left at critical health. Slowly working their way towards the end of the line. This may be the end for Monarch, or maybe this could be the end of Divinity if they were to do something completely wrong. And well, the fate of this game lies in all of their hands. This is a very, very close match, and I predicted that this game would have ended in 19 minutes. I'm not too sure if whether that is really going to be the case, because right now both sides, they are very cautious, right? They are very cautious, and they do not want to make any foul move, any wrong moves, and their life literally flashes in front of their eyes, and they wouldn't be able to do quite much with that iron hook on top of Cho. You didn't even see that, and he immediately went straight down. We know that the hook is down, we know that the bite is down, and we also know that Death Sonata is down. Divinity could actually force a push and try to go against Monarch because they have lost a good amount of ultimates, and not to forget CC kind of ultimate. The only ultimate that is available out there is going to be Zaman Force. Zaman Force is the one that really deals a lot of damage. They can force a fake engagement, force a fake initiation, and then force Diablo to drop the Zaman Force. Once Zaman Force is dropped, they come back into the game and try to do something else. But it does seem like Monarch has been catching Divinity off guard for the second time. Claude is going to be the victim of that this time. And now, Divinity, they are not going to be looking at this really fairly, as we are entering into the late stages of the game. Monarch has pushed their mid lanes all the way through to the upper part of the lane, but Joe went straight in and destroyed the middle inhibitor turret, which will slow down the advances of Monarch because their creeps is just so much more scarier. But you know what's scarier? The fact that Joe is going back to the core and trying to end the game ASAP. But the thing is, will this be possible? Adamir is going to be knocking on the core, and Adamir ended the game with a single man.
I'm rich, diamonds on my